Starting off then with your feet flat on the floor, we'll start with a bit of a mindful movement warm-up. And to start with, just bringing your attention to the body. And a nice way to do that is just to take a few nice deep breaths in and out, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you do so, just paying attention to the cold air running in through your nose and the warm air coming out through your mouth. Maybe noticing the feeling of the clothes against your skin as your chest rises and falls. Just letting go of any thoughts popping through or popping into your head that have been there throughout the day, and bring your awareness ready to do some exercise. Okay, so we'll start by moving the head forwards and backwards. So just tilting the chin towards the chest and up to the ceiling. Nice and gently, not straining, not tensing, not breath holding, just moving nice and naturally. Very good. And then we'll come back to the middle and we're going to look over the left shoulder and the right shoulder one at a time. It's okay to feel a few clicks and pops and cracks, entirely normal when you're starting to move things around like this. And then we'll tilt the head from side to side, so ear to shoulder. And again, I'm not bracing, I'm not tensing, I'm not holding my breath, just moving naturally from side to side. Lovely, and then back to the middle. Moving to the shoulders next then, so rolling the shoulders from forwards to backwards. Getting the arms involved if you want to, if you feel able to, and you want to start moving the arms a bit more as well. So really opening up the chest and the back as you rotate around. And then we'll do a few in the opposite direction as well, so backwards to forwards. And then coming back to a rest position with the arms down by the side. Next, we're going to do a bit of trunk rotation, so turning the body from one side to the other, so kind of keeping the feet flat on the floor, but turning to look at the wall behind you. And again, keeping the arms nice and relaxed, nice and floppy down by the sides. Not tensing, not bracing, not breath holding. And then back to the middle, and then we're going to do a few rotations with the hips. So we're going to rotate one way. You can start with small movements if you feel able to, and you want to do bigger movements, then that's fine. And then we'll do a few in the opposite direction as well, so going back the other way. And then back to the middle. Next, we're going to do a bit of bending. So to start with, sliding the hands down the legs each side, so doing a side bend. Again, keeping nice and relaxed as you do this. Try and get the bottom of the back to do most of the work, rather than sort of just tilting from the shoulders. Allowing the back to do that bending. Very nice. And then we're going to do a bit of forward bending. So bending down towards the floor. And again, I'm not really bending my knees here. My knees are slightly bent, but most of this is coming from the lower back. So you can see my back doing all the work here. Again, keeping nice and relaxed. If you find it difficult to go all the way down, you can always start with a smaller bend rather than going too far at once. Very nice. And moving down to the bottom half of the body now then. We'll do a bit of marching on the spot, warming up those legs and those hips. So bring the legs up one at a time in front of you. Notice those thigh muscles warming up a little bit. You might notice your breathing and your heart rate going a bit faster by now as well. And then we're going to bring the heels up behind you. So bring the heels up towards your bum, waking up those muscles around the backs of the legs, waking up those hamstrings. Very nice. And then we're going to push up and down on our tiptoes next. So rocking backwards and forwards on your tiptoes and then onto your heels. So waking up those ankle joints, waking up those calf muscles. Lovely. And then back to our start position. And finally, just Doing a few movements with the arms, bending and straightening the elbows, doing that a few times. Give the wrists a nice wiggle as well. Make sure the fingers are nice and loose and limber, and then we're ready to go. Okay, so that's our warm-up done then. So the first exercise we're going to do is one for the bottom half of the body. We're going to do a sit to stand or a squat. So there's 3 levels to this one. Level 1, which is the easiest way to do this, would be to do it with no weights in your hand, just having a go standing up and sitting down if you can without using your hands. Level 2, which would be a little bit more difficult, involves holding onto a weight to make it a bit harder. But other than that, it's exactly the same. And then level 3, which is the hardest one of these, will be a squat. So with or without a weight, what you're doing is standing feet about a hips width apart, letting your bum come out nice and low, keeping the body relatively upright, and then coming back up again. So we're going to do 3 sets in total. We're going to do 12 repetitions in each set. Do level 1 for set number 1, level 2 for set number 2, and then level 3 for set number 3. There we go. Okay, right then. Okay, so as I said, we're going to do 3 sets. For the first set, I'm going to do level 1. Second set, I'm going to do level 2. Third set, I'm going to do level 3. If you want to go straight in and do the squats, great. If you want to stick on level 1 throughout all 3 of these sets, that's absolutely fine. Don't feel like you have to go to 12 repetitions either. If you're getting tired after 8 repetitions, you can stop there. Not a problem at all. So everybody in position and ready to go for set number 1. And ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, and down. 8, and down. 9, and down. 10, and down. 11, and down. The last one, number 12, and then have a rest. Very good, lovely. So you should notice maybe a little bit of warmth in the thigh muscles. This exercise is a really nice one for building up strength in the legs and the bum, maybe in the lower back as well. Really good if you find it difficult getting up and down from a chair. Anything really that involves kind of bottom half of your body strength. This is a lovely one to have a go at. Okie doke. So we'll go for set number 2 next then. So for set number 2, I'm going to do level 2. So I'm just going to hold on to a weight. I'm going to give myself a bit of a challenge. I'll hold on to my heavier weight, make myself work a bit harder. So in position and ready to go for set number 2. Ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, and down. 8, and down. 9, and down. 10, and down. Nearly there. 11, and down. Last one, number 12, and then rest. Very good. Okay, so we've done 2 sets now. By now, these muscles should be feeling a little bit sore, maybe a little bit tired. I'm going to do 1 more set just to finish them off. But just give yourself a little bit of rest beforehand. So for set number 3, I'm going to do squats. So remember, squats, feet about hips width apart, and we're coming down, letting your bum come out nice and low, and then pushing back up again. Point your camera down so you can see the bottom half of me a bit more for this one. Now you can do this with a weight if you want to. You don't have to do it with a weight if you don't want to. Or if you're happy sticking on level 1 or level 2, you can carry on doing those ones for set number 3. So here we go then, in position, ready for set number 3, and ready, steady, and go. So down, that's 1, down, that's 2, down, that's 3, down, that's 4, down, that's 5, down, that's 6, down, that's 7, down, that's 8, down, that's 9, down, That's 10, then 11, and then last one, number 12. There you go. All right, lovely stuff. Well done. So that's our sit to stands and squats done. Really lovely exercise for the bottom half of your body, your legs, particularly your thighs, your bum muscles. Okay, so we're going to move to the top half of the body next then. We're going to do a shoulder press. So for the shoulder press, the classic shoulder press, you can do it sitting or standing. Involves holding weights. We start in this position and we're going to lift them all the way above the head, and then we're going to come back down again. Now, for level 1, if you wanted to make that easier, if that was a little bit difficult, you can always hold on to one weight to start with and have a go at lifting it up and down like this, okay? And if you want to make it harder, level 2 obviously would be the kind of middle one. Level 3, you could do an Arnie. So named after Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're starting with the elbows at about a 45-degree angle to the body, and then you're going to bring them around to the side, up and above the head, and then back round. Just takes a little bit longer, uses a few more muscles, so it's a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to start set number 1 with level 1, set number 2 I'll do level 2, and set number 3 I'll do level 3. Feel free to jump in wherever you're happy though. So in position, ready to go for set number 1, I'm going to do level 1. So ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down, 9, and down, 10, and down, nearly there, 11, and down, and then one more, number 12, and then rest. Very good, okay. So we'll have a rest, we'll do set number 2 in just a second. This exercise is really good for strengthening up these shoulder muscles, really useful if you find it difficult reaching up to high things, things in cupboards up above your head, or even kind of lifting shopping and carrying shopping, those kinds of things. Really good to have nice strong shoulder muscles. Okay, so we'll go for set number 2 in just a second. So for set number 2, I'm going to do level 2, and remember that's starting in the kind of classic shoulder press position, that muscle man pose before we move. So in position, ready to go, and ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down, 9, and down, 10, and down, nearly there, 11, and down, last one, number 12, and then rest. Lovely. Okay, so again, same as with other exercises, hopefully by the time you get into that kind of number 10, number 12 repetition, these muscles should be starting to get a little bit tired. It's okay for them to be a little bit sore, a little bit tired as you're doing this one. Okay, so give yourself a short rest and then we'll go for set number 3. So for set number 3, we're going to do the Arnies. So again, remember starting with the elbows at that 45-degree angle, coming around and up and above the head, and then back around again. With all of these exercises, typically what I'll say is do a 2 count. So what I mean by that is rather than kind of going up and down really quickly, kind of going 1, 2, 1, 2. The more time you've got those muscles under tension, the harder they're going to work, the stronger they're going to get. So do take your time when you're doing the exercises, trying to rush them. All right then, so in position then, ready to go for set number 3. I'm going to do level 3 for this one. So ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down, 2, down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down, 9, and down, 10, and down, nearly there, 11, and down. One more, number 12. There we go. And then have a rest there. Lovely stuff, well done. Okay, so there we go. That's our shoulder press done. Hopefully you've got a nice warm feeling up around the tops of the shoulders and maybe up a little bit around the neck as well. Really lovely exercise, that one, if you find it difficult with overhead things, carrying things, anything that involves the upper body, really. All right, so we've done some legs, we've done some shoulders. Let's do some back now. So we're going to work on our lower back today, and we're going to do some bending and lifting, okay? Some loaded flexion. Now, as you all know, because you all have heard me talk about it before, there's nothing wrong with bending the back, okay? Really safe to do so. And actually, it's really important to have a nice strong back that's used to bending in order to help you do normal day-to-day activities. So what we're going to do for this one is hold on to a weight. I've got a 10 kilo weight here, standing roughly feet about hips width apart. And then all I'm doing is bending from the back. My knees are bending slightly, but actually most of this movement, as you can see, is coming from the back and then coming up that nice and tall. Now, if this is, you're starting out with this one, you haven't done this much before, you might like to just do a small bend. Nothing wrong with that at all. Key thing with this one is to allow that lower back to do the work and keep yourself breathing naturally as well. So avoid any temptations to kind of brace or breath hold or tense before you move. So in position then, ready to go. And ready, steady, and go. So down and back up. That's 1. Down, back up. That's 2. Down, back up. That's 3. Down, back up. That's 4. Down, back up. That's 5. Down, back up. That's 6. Down, back up. That's 7. Down, back up. That's 8. Down, back up. That's 9. Down, back up. That's 10. Down, back up. 11, and then one more, down, all the way back up. And there you go, there's number 12. Okay, so by the time you get to that sort of 12th repetition, you might notice a bit of warmth, a bit of soreness down around the bottom of the back. It's absolutely fine. Just remember to start nice and small, build up nice and slowly with this one. Really lovely exercise. If you do find it difficult bending over, lifting things up from the floor, kind of standing in that stooped position, doing your shoelaces up or doing daily chores, this one's a lovely one to strengthen up those muscles down around the bottom of the back. Okay, give yourself another couple of seconds to recover, and then we'll go for set number 2. So coming back into position and ready to go for set number 2. And ready, steady, and go. So down and back up. That's 1. Down and back up. That's 2. Down and back up. That's 3. Down and back up. That's 4. Down and back up. That's 5. Down and back up. That's 6. Down and back up. That's 7. Down and back up. That's 8. Down and back up. That's 9. Down and back up. That's 10. Down and back up. 11. Nearly there. Down and back up. And there you go. There's number 12. All right, lovely. Okay. So again, one more rest. We'll do one more set of those. If you're getting tired after 2 sets and actually you feel like that's enough, don't feel like you have to do a 3rd set. This is just for those of you that maybe want to push yourself a little bit harder, or if you've been working on this one quite a bit already and you feel like you're able to do a 3rd set, that's fine. But as I said, if you're already tired after the first couple of sets, then not a problem. Same rule applies for if you're not getting to 12, if you're getting tired after 8 repetitions, 10 repetitions, that's fine. As long as you're coming out of your comfort zone, as long as you're pushing yourself a little bit, that's the main thing. Okay, so let's go for it then. 3rd and final set if you're doing it with me. So in the start position, ready to go, and ready, steady, and go. So down and back up. That's 1. Down and back up. That's 2. Down and back up. That's 3. Down and back up. That's 4. Down and back up. That's 5. Down and back up. That's 6. Down and back up. That's 7. Down and back up. That's 8, down, and back up. That's 9, down, and back up. That's 10, nearly there, down, back up. 11, and then one more, all the way down, all the way up, and there you go, there's number 12. Very nice. Okay, so have a little rest there. If you want to grab a glass of water, have a little slurp whilst we're resting, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's recap then. So we've done some legs, we've done a little bit of the bum with the sit to stance and the squats, we've done some shoulders and kind of upper body with the shoulder press, and we've just done some strengthening work for the lower back. What we'll do is we'll go right down to the bottom now, and we're going to do some heel raises. So heel raises, pushing up on your tiptoes, really good for strengthening up those calf muscles. Now, what you might want to do for this one is find yourself a bit of support. So maybe doing this one next to a wall or even next to a kind of a work surface or the back of the sofa, something that you can use just to keep yourself on balance. And what we're going to do is essentially just push up on your tiptoes and then back down again. Now, you can do it on both legs if you want to. If you find that quite easy and you feel like you want something a bit harder, have a go at doing it on one leg. So standing on one leg, pushing up and down on your tiptoes. And what we'll do then for this one is we'll do 3 sets in total. I'm going to do set number 1 on both legs. Set number 2, I'm just going to do on the right leg. Set number 3, I'm just going to do on the left leg. And again, keeping with this one nice and slow, nice and steady, nice and controlled. Try and avoid that kind of temptation to sort of flop back down on the way down. So in position then, ready to go next to something to support. And ready, steady, and go. 1, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, down. 8, down. 9, down. 10, and down. 11, and down. Last one, number 12, and then have a rest. Lovely. So you should have a little bit of a warm feeling in the back of the thigh muscles. This one's a really lovely exercise if you find walking longer distance difficult, pushing up on your tiptoes, going up and down stairs, those kinds of things. So really nice exercise for strengthening up those calf muscles around those ankles. So we'll go for set number 2 in just a second. So for set number 2, I'm going to make this a bit harder for myself. I'm going to have a go doing it on one leg. Don't be surprised if you get a lot more tired with this one. If you just get to 8 repetitions and that's enough, that's absolutely fine. So in position, ready to go. Obviously, if you're happy doing 2 legs, then stay on 2 legs. In position, ready to go. And ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, and down. 6, and down. 7, and down. 8, and down. 9, and down. 10, and down, nearly there. 11, and down. One more, number 12, and then rest. Lovely. So I find that much harder. So I've got a real strong warm feeling in the calf on my right leg now. So what we'll do is we'll swap over and we'll do it on my left leg just to even things up. Give yourself another few seconds if you're still doing it on both legs just to recover. So in position then, ready for the 3rd and final set of the heel raises. So ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down. 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, down. 5, down. 6, down. 7, down. 8, and down. 9, and down. 10, and down, nearly there. 11, and down. Last one, number 12, and there you go. Lovely. So we've worked those calf muscles nice and hard. So we've done 3 sets in total. I did the first one on both legs, and then the second set on the right, 3rd set on the left. If you do want to progress that one and make it harder as well, you can also have a go at doing it over the edge of a step. So for example, if your toes and the ball of your foot's over the edge of the step, lowering your heel down and then pushing up and down on your tiptoes. That will make it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging as well, but a nice variation. Okay, so let's recap. We've done legs, we've done shoulders, we've done back, we've done the calf muscles, we've done right now around the ankles. We're going to do one more exercise for the upper back. So we're going to do some bent over rows, and then we'll do a bit of cardio, and then we'll finish with a bit of stretching. So if I show you how we're going to do this one. So bear with me 1 second. Now you can do this one in a standing position, or you can do it in a sitting position. So a bent over row in a standing position involves holding onto a couple of small weights. What you do is you stick your bum out behind you, keeping your back nice and straight in a stooped position, and you're going to lift the weights up towards your chest, squeezing the shoulder blades back together, really sort of poking the chest out, and then allow the shoulders to drop back, the arms to drop back down again. If that's difficult and you want to start in a sitting position, you can do exactly the same thing, bending forwards, lifting the arms up towards you, squeezing the shoulder blades back together, and then coming back down again. So this is a lovely one for strengthening up those muscles around the shoulder blades, around the upper back. A really nice exercise. So I'm going to do this one in standing. As I said, though, you can do this one in sitting if you want to. So in position, ready to go then. So knees bent, bum out behind you, and ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down, 9, and down, 10, and down, nearly there, 11, and down, one more, number 12, and then have a rest. So really nice exercise for the upper back. As I said, the way to make this one a little bit harder, or work those muscles even more, is to really focus on the squeeze at the end. So when you're bringing your shoulder blades back together, really squeeze them together, focus on that extra squeeze, really tense those muscles up. That'll make them work a little bit harder, make them get tired more quickly, and obviously then over time get them stronger. So let's go for set number 2 then. So in position, ready to go for set number 2. So if you're doing it in standing, knees bent, bum out behind you, arms relaxed down in front, and ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down, 9, and down, 10, and down, nearly there, 11, and down, one more, number 12, and then have a rest. Very nice. Okay, so we've done 2 sets, we've got 1 more to do. If you wanted to, if you want to make this a little bit harder, if you want another variation, the other way to do this one is something called a reverse fly. So it's almost like a bird flapping your wings. Okay, so instead of bringing the weights up in this position, what you do is bring them up and out to the side. Okay, again, nice and controlled, big squeeze at the top, but it's just a nice variation. Works a similar set of muscles, but you might find it a little bit more difficult. So I'll do this one for the last set. Feel free to carry on doing the other ones though if you're happy with those. So in position then, knees bent, bum out behind you, and ready, steady, and go. So 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, and down, 5, and down, 6, and down, 7, and down, 8, and down, 9, and down, 10, and down, 11, and down, 1 more, number 12, and there you go, have a rest. Okay, well done everybody. All right, well done. So there we go then. So we've done the strengthening component of the class. Just to recap, we've done a bit of legs, a bit of bum, we've done some shoulders, we've done the lower back, we've done the calves and the ankles, and then we finish with the upper back. So we've pretty much done most of the body. The arms will be a little bit involved in that. We can add in some more arm strengthening exercise in other sessions. So what we'll do then is next we're going to do a bit of cardio. So a bit of cardiovascular exercise just to get your heart and your lungs working, getting you out of breath, getting you sweating a little bit more, just to introduce another form of exercise really. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do high intensity interval training. Okay, so what that involves is 20 seconds, quick movement as fast as you can, followed by a 10-second rest. So I'm going to time it on my phone here. So what we'll do is we'll do 4 sets in total. So for the first set, you might want to run as fast as you can. You could do star jumps. You could do some squats. Actually, if you want to do less with the bottom half, more with the top, you could do some punching. Whatever you like, just move your body as fast as you can for 20 seconds, followed by a 10-second rest. So let me get my stopwatch out and we'll get ready to do this one. So I'm going to do, for today, just to give you an idea, I'm going to do star jumps to start with, and then I'm going to do running on the spot, and then I'm going to do punching, and I'm going to finish with some squats at the end there, okay? So in position, ready to go, and ready for the first 20 seconds. Ready, steady, and go. So nice quick movement, whatever it is you fancy doing, just getting the body moving as fast as you can. 10 seconds gone. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest. So 10-second rest. It's not a lot. I'm going to do some sprinting on the spot after this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So nice and fast movement, whatever it is. Get the body moving. Keep going. That's 10 seconds gone. Another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest. Okay, so another 10-second rest. I'm going to do some punching next. I'm going to do some weights. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So another 20 seconds. Nice fast movement. Get everything going. Good, that's 10 seconds. Keep going. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Should be getting tired now. Last 10 seconds. I'm going to do some squats for the last 20 seconds, okay? 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So last 20 seconds of movement. Any movement you like, fast as you can. You can get rid of all your energy. It's the last bit of strenuous exercise we're doing. That's 10 seconds gone. Last 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Okay. So that was 1 minute 50 of exercise. Hopefully you're feeling a bit out of breath. You'll notice your breathing rate going faster. Notice your heart rate. So give yourself a few seconds to recover. Feel free to have a glass of water. And then what we'll do next is move on to some stretching exercises. We'll do a few in sitting, and then we'll move to do a few more in lying. Okay, I'm just going to reposition things here a little bit. So, start in a sitting position then. So you can do this sitting on the floor if you want to. You can do this sitting in a chair. We're just going to do a few stretches for the top half of the body, and then we'll move to the floor to do a few bottom half stretches. So give yourself a little bit more of a chance to recover. And what we're going to do to start with is we'll do some for the top half of the body, some for the upper back kind of area. So in a sitting position to start with, feet flat on the floor. What I get you to do is just to clasp your fingers together, stretching the arms out in front of you, just rounding the upper back, rounding the lower back, stretching away, chin into your chest. And then sitting up nice and tall, opening up the arms, open the chest, extend the elbows, extend the wrists and fingers, looking up towards the ceiling slightly. And then back around in front of you, clasping the fingers together, stretching them away in front of you. And then opening the chest, extending the arms and fingers, looking up towards the ceiling. Do it a couple more times. So clasping the fingers together, stretching around in front of you, rounding the shoulders, really pushing them away. Opening up the chest, extending the elbows and fingers, looking up towards the ceiling. And one more, round in front, stretching away, chin to chest, rounding everything. And opening up, extending the elbows, extending the fingers, looking up towards the ceiling. Very nice. And then come back to a central position. Next, what we're going to do is a stretch for the kind of the mid back, another one rather. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to do a bit of rotation, okay? And I'm going to use my hands on the leg and on the chair just to help me move around a bit further. So what we're going to do is turn yourself round to one side, keeping the feet flat on the floor, looking towards the wall behind you, giving yourself a bit of a stretch. And then we're going to repeat round to the other side. Again, using the hands to help push you that a little bit further if you want to. And back round. Now you can also use the breath. So as we go around this time, as you get to the end, take a short breath in and out. And as you breathe out, just pulling yourself a little bit further. And back around, do the same to the other side. Breathe in, breathe out, stretching that bit further. Round again, breathe in, breathe out, and stretch. And around, breathe in, breathe out, and stretch. Lovely, well done. Okay, so there's a nice couple of stretches for the top half. We're going to do a couple for the kind of the hips and the bum area next. So you can do this one in a lying position as well as a slight variation, but we'll do it in a sitting position if you're able to. So what it's going to do is we're going to bring one leg over the other. So my right leg, right ankle over my left knee. What we're going to do is just gently push down with a bit of pressure over that top knee, over the right knee, just leaning forwards until you feel a bit of a pull around the bum area on the side of my right hip. Holding that for a few seconds. Again, it should be relatively relaxed. I'm not tensing, bracing, not sort of really pushing into pain, just a little bit of stretch. And then relax off and we'll repeat it on the other side. So this time, left leg over the right knee, pushing the knee down, leaning forwards a little bit so you feel a bit of a stretch in the bum on the left-hand side. And then switching back over. So we'll go back to the right again, pushing down, leaning forwards, nice and gently. Bit of a stretch around the right buttock. Very nice. We'll do one more on the other side. Leaning down, leaning forwards. Bit of a stretch around the left buttock. Okay, lovely. So there's a nice stretch for the bum. We're going to come into a floor position now. So I'm just going to move a couple of things around a second. Just bring this one in so it's a little bit closer. There we go. Okay. So again, in a sitting position, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our heels up towards your groin, holding onto them around your toes, sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. And we're just going to allow the knees to fall out to the side. And as you do so, you'll feel a bit of a stretch in the groin. So again, breathing naturally, just allowing the weight of your legs just to stretch it out. You can do one leg at a time if you find it quite difficult doing both legs. And then just lift off, take away the stretch. And then relaxing down into it again. Again, sitting up nice and tall on the sit bones, letting the knees fall out to the side. And up again, so lifting the knees, relaxing them down, letting it all fall away. One more, so just relax off. Allow the weight of your knees just to pull them down towards the floor. Nice gentle stretch there. Nice. Okay. Next, we'll do a stretch for the back of the leg. You can do this one as sitting on a chair position. But I'm going to do it sitting on the floor, so I'm going to come down here. And all we're going to do is straighten one leg out in front of you, keeping the knee relatively flat to the floor if you can, and then just reaching down towards your ankle. And as you do so, you'll feel a bit of a stretch around the hamstrings, around the back of the thigh. And again, I'm not straining, not stretching, not really pulling against pain, just you should feel something, but it shouldn't be too painful. It shouldn't really be painful. A nice gentle stretch there. Breathing into it again. And then switching over, so we'll swap legs. So the left one out this time. And again, reaching down towards my ankle, feeling a bit of a stretch down around the hamstring on the left-hand side. Again, breathing naturally and gently as you do so. Switching over, so we'll go back to the right side again. Reaching down towards the ankle. If you want to feel more of a stretch, you can always try pulling your toes up towards you as well. Might accentuate the stretch a little bit more. And then one more, repeat it on the other side. So switching over again, over to my left leg. And down. Very nice. Okey-doke. Lovely stuff. And then come back to a rest position then. Okay, so there's a nice couple of stretches for the bottom half. We're going to do a couple of stretches for the lower back now. So we're going to do these in a lying position. So bring yourself into a comfortable lying position, either on the floor or on the bed, whichever feels most comfortable for you. And then to start with your feet together and your arms out the way to the side, we're just going to allow your knees to roll across to the side, keeping the shoulders flat on the floor, head facing up towards the ceiling. Again, breathing into that stretch, not fighting it, not straining. And then come back up and across, and then rotating across to the other side. Back up to the middle, and across. Back up to the middle, and across. Back up to the middle, and across. And then one more, up the middle, and across. And then coming back to the middle, we're going to finish with some knee hugs. Okay, so knee hugs, we're just going to bring the knees up towards your chest. You can keep your feet together, you can cross them, do whatever you like. You can also do this with one leg at a time if you wanted to, if you find it difficult doing it with both. And we're just going to gently squeeze up towards your chest, feeling a bit of a pull maybe down around the bum or around the lower back. Again, not straining too hard, not fighting against any sensations like pain. And then relax them away. And back up towards you again. Nice gentle stretch. And away. Back up towards you again. And away. And again, gentle squeeze. And away. We'll do one more. Nice gentle squeeze. Relax the legs away and just bring yourself into a comfortable lying position in whatever position you want to finish the practice in. And if you're able, you feel like you want to close your eyes, that's fine, but just bring your whole body into awareness and just enjoy that feeling of having done about 45, 50 minutes worth of exercise. Lovely. And in your own time, bring yourself back up into a sitting position or a standing position or however you want to finish off. And then we'll finish the practice there. Well done.